How do I feel? I feel totally betrayed. I mean, you never think, or I never thought a guy like me would ever be involved in anything like this. 8 officers, ICE agents, swarmed Jasmine, detained her, didn't tell us why, and rustled her off into a car. No explanation was given. I was just in total disbelief. Nothing like this has ever happened to me. You know, I have several businesses, I'm law-abiding, and I pay a lot of tax.
What would you say to somebody watching at home who may think, well, John, he's criticizing the president or the administration on this issue of immigration because of political reasons?
Oh, I'm definitely not. I voted for Trump. They are picking up law-abiding citizens. They're destroying families, jobs.
You underscored, John, that you voted for the president in the most recent election, I assume.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again. Not after this fiasco. This is like the Gestapo. I would never have thought the United States would act this way. Go after the criminals. We're all for that. But leave the mom and pops and the kids alone. Love, Jasmine. That's it.
This story isn't just about Jasmine and John. It is about what happens when political decisions leave Washington and enter someone's home, someone's relationship, and someone's family. John thought he was voting for one thing, and now he's saying he regrets that vote. You don't always understand the impact of a policy until it touches your own life. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
On the subject of Trump regretting this, I do. I think he regrets it very much.
Why do you think that?
Because he's not dumb, and he knows it's crushing him. It's crushing his numbers. When have you ever seen Trump exposed to bad polls not come out and attack the polls? Why isn't he doing that? Because it's every poll. It's every poll. Left, right, center. There hasn't been one poll that's good for him other than one CNN survey of core MAGA voters early on in the war who said they were all 100% with Trump. Well, MAGA is basically defined as you're pro-Trump. Mm-hmm. So of course they're going to go along with Trump. But MAGA is shrinking. At best, it's 19% of the electorate and or of the Republican Party. And so it's shrinking. It's shrinking in relevance. And the rest of the Republican Party is having real doubts about this war. And of course, the left is totally against it. So I think Trump is looking at his poll numbers and he understands that not only we have a 70% disapproval rating on this war and climbing, but it's driven down his approval ratings on the things that really do get people elected, like inflation and the economy. It's caused inflation. We can all see that. For the first time last month, we saw the cost of living, like the cost of wages, the wages increase was lower than the increase in inflation. One was 3.6%, one was 3.8%. So people's paychecks are literally no longer keeping up with the rises in inflation. And his approval ratings have a corresponding dip. He is way underwater on his economic approval numbers when it comes to the overall economy and certainly on inflation with everyone. All the Hispanics who came to Team Trump in 2024 are gone. Not only are they're not ambivalent, they are saying that they're going to vote for the Democrats. They are deeply disappointed in him.
Everybody's fucking gone except Fox News, Mark Levin,
yes,
Benny Johnson, and Dan Bongino.
Yeah, the white working class leaving.
Am I missing anyone? I mean, Rogan, you,
yep,
Tucker, Candace, Tim Dillon, all the comedians, Theo Vaughn, me. Every big podcast out there is like, fuck you.
Yeah, you lied.
Fuck you.
You betrayed. I mean, I'll tell you, for me, it's been a confusing time. It's been a frustrating time for most of us, I think. But I still support the basic Trump agenda. And I still really have hopes that he will get back to it, if for no other reason out of practicality, to save what's left of his presidency. Like, I really kind of believed in the whole let's deport the illegals thing. He did close the border, and I give him total credit for that. He did fight the gender war, and he's made a serious difference there, and I'm very grateful to him for that.
I think those are both pretty low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I know, right. But I would love for him to get back to focusing on domestic issues. It's almost like Trump found it's really hard to have an effect on those issues and gave up and said, like, foreign policy is one area in which a commander-in-chief can make a real difference, which is true. So I'm just going to focus on that. You know, it's like that little soundbite that leaked over his Easter lunch that he had that wasn't supposed to be put online, but it was for about 15 minutes. And then the White House realized and they pulled it down.
What was that?
He said in that soundbite, there's really not much the federal government can do to like change life at the local level. They can't really change crime or help you with health insurance, medical care, or like those small issues that actually affect your life on a day-to-day basis. That's really more local government. And it was a very controversial statement because he made a bunch of promises that he would help people in those lanes, but it also isn't entirely untrue. And you can hear it almost as a justification for his foreign adventurism. Like, this is annoying. You know, I actually kind of can't get these illegals out because all these sanctuary cities are protecting them. And I haven't found an effective way around them. I've tried to do cleanup in some cities, but most won't let me in when it comes to crime. So what am I really supposed to do? Healthcare's too big to take on. I can't make many changes there because I don't have a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate, nor do I have even 51 Republicans who would vote to change the rules to get rid of the filibuster if I wanted that. I know there are a lot of Republicans who are like, get rid of the filibuster. You don't have the votes to do it. You have, some 5 Republicans who won't vote for it, and no Dems are going to vote for it. So you at least need 51 senators to vote to overturn the protocol that requires a 60-vote majority to get a vote on legislation. So I think he was feeling, what else can I do? All I have is these executive orders. I issued all the ones I was interested in at the beginning of the presidency back in February of 25. So what else can I do? Oh, here's something fun. And I think he loves the military toys that he discovered with the Maduro raid. And
He could have released the Epstein files.
that is a mystery to me. I don't believe Trump's in the Epstein files in any meaningful way. I really don't, because I think Joe Biden would have used it or gotten it out there. So why was he not only, again, we did look at this at the time. He wasn't a huge, I will release the Epstein files guy. But his base was his FBI director and deputy director for the beginning of his term were 100%.
And his vice president.
And his vice president. So, and his son. Trump's circle and the ones who are his campaign surrogates absolutely made a huge deal of the Epstein files. And Trump got in there and acted like he'd never heard of this before. Like, what are you even who would be talking about Jeffrey Epstein still? Absolutely not, you freaks. You know, like, what? It looked like an invasion of the body snatchers. Like, who do you think you're talking to? This actually is a huge issue that has a lot more to do with, it has to do with a lot more than just Jeffrey Epstein. So it was a similar 180, it felt like one, to on the Iran thing. Only that one, it's him on camera making the promises over and over and over. But on Epstein, my best guess is it's his friends. It's his donors. People
He said that. Didn't he say that to Marjorie Taylor Greene? I can't do anything. Or he said something along the lines, what do you want me to do? They're all my friends.
Yeah.
Well, then, all your friends are fucking pedophiles. Get rid of them.
Right.
Make new friends.
None of us gives a shit. Like, we wanted to see the names.
What?
The one good thing we have going for us there is there are a lot of angry people who have just been voted out effectively of the Senate and Congress who have 7 months left in office, like Massey. Like, there's nothing stopping him from standing on the House floor and revealing to us some of these names.
Do you think he'll do it?
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, what does he have to lose?
Nothing. His life.
I mean, what's going to happen to John Cornyn? I don't know. Trump says he's my friend. That's Trump trying to keep him in line for the next 7 months. He's probably feeling pretty bitter about what happened to him. I don't know. There's a few who might
I don't know who that is.
Leave with a bang.
John who?
John Cornyn? He's the one who just lost to Ken Paxton on the Senate primary down in Texas. But he's been there for multiple terms, and he's now on his way out because Trump backed his opponent, who's got a lot of ethical scandals, but who's fresh blood and a little bit more red meat of a Republican than Cornyn, who's more milquetoast and a little swampy. But who knows? I think the next 7 months are going to be kind of interesting.
Not proud of it. Man enough to say it. I was one of those guys back in 2020, 2024, shit, even 2016 before I could vote. I was all for Trump. I was all for MAGA. I believed he was going to make America great again. I believed he was going to drain the swamp. I thought he was going to be different. He wasn't a career politician. And boy, was I wrong. My views didn't change. They still remain the same. I did fall for the deception, though, because I can't in good conscience support someone who's responsible for a pointless war where thousands of innocent lives are dying every single day. I can't support someone who mocked Christ on Easter. I sure as hell can't support someone who calls the people who want transparency on one of the most heinous and insidious acts in human history, the Epstein files, calls them liars and lunatics. He's probably a part of it himself. Can't support that. When it comes to politics, it's hard to even align myself with one of the parties because they're both being controlled by the same puppeteers at the top. So I was wrong. Not proud of it. Man enough to say it.
Listen carefully to what this person is saying. This isn't coming from someone who was always against Trump. This is coming from someone who said they supported him, and that's what makes this moment so interesting. When a long-time supporter starts saying, I regret my vote, the question becomes, what changed?
I'm going to show you what a real apology looks like. I'm going to show you what it looks like to realize that you screwed up big and you screwed other people because of how you voted. A 3-time Trump voter called into C-SPAN and said, I was really wrong, and people are suffering. And this 3-time Trump voter breaks down. It's really a MAGA cultist leaving the cult. He goes, I apologize to all of America. There is a lot to learn from this.
Cleveland, Ohio, Republican, you're on Open Forum.
Well, I'd like to first say I apologize to all of America and all of Americans. I was a diehard Republican. I cannot believe I drank the Kool-Aid, okay? I am guilty. I drank the Kool-Aid of Donald J. Trump. In fact, I don't even know why we keep saying Donald J. Trump. This man is ruining the Constitution of the United States. What's going on in these southern states, Louisiana and Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, they're taking away the vote from the black man, the fight from the black people that are part of our country. They're stealing their vote. They're making it null and mean nothing. And we need to, I don't know what we need to do, but I'm not going to vote for Donald Trump. I know that this country, if you see all the corruption, the billions of dollars that the Trump family is grabbing, and he says it's never about the money. It's all about the money, the lies that come out of this man's mouth. Everything he says is not true is exactly what is true. I don't know what needs to be done, but the Democrats need to grab the helm and lead the people what we need to do. They are overwhelming the system of democracy. He wants the Strait of Hormuz open. Guess what? Before he went there, it was open, and the gas prices were beautiful. I mean, everything.
All right, listen, I think you get it. I think this is a lot more than just one guy apologizing. It, of course, matters that this guy regrets voting for Trump. Cool. Step 1. Step 2, he's publicly admitting it. That's good. Number 3, he's actually apologizing and not one of these, I apologize if anyone was offended. I apologize. That alone is a level of self-awareness and humility that is pretty rare in American politics, and especially when things are as polarized as they are today. For every Republican voter willing to say stuff like this publicly, there are hundreds or thousands quietly thinking the exact same thing privately.
Excuse me, everyone, really quick. I just have an announcement. I'm American, and I'm very sorry about Donald Trump. Hey, did you guys have a good boat ride? I just want to say very quick, on behalf of the United States, I'm very sorry about Donald Trump. And have a great day. Just going around Copenhagen on behalf of the United States, just apologizing about Donald Trump. So I'm sorry about Donald Trump, and we're working on it. Are you guys having a good day? I'm just going around Copenhagen, just saying on behalf of the United States, I'm sorry about Donald Trump, and we're working on it. Yes. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your tour, just really quick. On behalf of the United States, I'm very sorry about Donald Trump. Excuse me, sir. Just want you to know, on behalf of the United States, I'm American, and I'm very sorry about Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want to say, I'm American, and on behalf of the United States, I am sincerely sorry about Donald Trump. I really apologize, and I'll have an espresso. And the whole thing with Greenland is, that's really stupid on our...
Are you still against Donald Trump running for president for a third term?
Yes, I don't want him to run for a third term. How many times do I have to tell you that before y'all start yelling at me?
So if he does, are you going to vote for him?
No, I don't want him for a third term. I have told you that several times.
So you're saying if Donald Trump runs for a third term, you're saying right now you will either abstain from voting altogether or vote for the Democrat?
No, I will not vote for a Democrat, but he will not run. It'll be J.D. Vance probably, and I will campaign for him.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to run either because I think he's going to be dead within a month.
Okay.
But, you're saying if he does run, you will not vote in that election?
Yeah, he's too old.
Okay, interesting. He did shit his pants, like I said, right in a press conference this week.
Didn't see that. It's funny how you see all this stuff and I don't see it, but that's okay.
But leaving MAGA isn't necessarily easy. For many supporters, politics become part of their identity. Their friends wear MAGA, their family wear MAGA, their social media communities wear MAGA. It takes courage to say, I supported this and now I don't. Continue watching this video.
Working for Kamala's campaign in 2024, I was a co-chair for a committee here in Florida, and I did some outreach, I did some media hits for the campaign, wrote some op-eds, and I did a video that appeared at night one at the DNC convention. And in that video, I said that Donald Trump's toxic superpower is lying, that there is nothing, small, medium, or large, that he will not lie about. And I wrote extensively before the election that if Trump were elected, he would seek to exact revenge and retribution against others, including those who just got swept up in opposing the president and being made an example of. And that's exactly what happened with this reflecting poll story, is that the president targeted a citizen, made an accusation, and that accusation turned out to be false. And I think for those of you out there who are in MAGA right now and you're seeing this, and I know many of you in MAGA are going to see this, I want you to know that it is okay to acknowledge that we were wrong. That many of you are having right now experiencing a cognitive dissonance where you are experiencing a conflict between your sincerely held beliefs and what your own eyes are showing you. Because I believe deep down, many of you in MAGA know that something is amiss, and you know that the president lies about pretty much everything. And if the president is lying about one issue, it begs the question, what else is it that he might be lying about? So for those of you in MAGA seeing this, I want you to know that if you're having doubts, you're not alone. If you're feeling scared and confused, if you're questioning your belief system, I've been where you are. Our leaders in our community, others who left, have been where you are. You don't have to go through this alone, and it is okay to acknowledge that sometimes we are mistaken in our choices, even if we made those choices with the right reasons. For those of you in MAGA, I don't believe that you're bad people. I think that you are good people. And I think that we have been led astray. And just like I was, I believe that you've had your fears and concerns exploited and manipulated. And we don't have to live like this. We can walk away from the extremism of MAGA politics. And after you walk away, you have a home with us. You have a new community with us here at Leaving MAGA. So this is just something to think about for those of you who are seeing this, who are still in the MAGA community.
I voted for him, yes, but the quicker that you people welcome ex-MAGAs like myself, the more that MAGA is going to be willing to leave. The fact that you guys throw so much hate at ex-MAGA truly makes us not want to leave the cult. I have seen at least 3 or 4 videos like that in my FYP the last freaking hour, and to me it's ridiculous, because if you want to leave a cult, if you want to leave anything, you're doing it for yourself and nobody else. You don't need somebody to welcome you. Plus, leaving the cult and unlearning the things that made you think it was okay to be in the cult and support the person that you were supporting are 2 totally different things. Yeah, you can leave because you didn't like that AI picture he posted, or because you don't like the way he's acting right now, or you can leave because you know that he's racist, he's a pedophile, he's all these things, and you don't agree with them. But you could have left the cult and still support all those things elsewhere. You have not done the work to unlearn what it is that made you think it was okay for him to be president and to act this way in the first place. So please miss me with the, oh, you gotta welcome ex-MAGA. No, nobody has to do anything. What you have to do, if you truly want to make a change, is change yourself and talk to those around you who also think the way you do. And explain to them why they're also wrong.
This is where things get really interesting. Some people aren't simply saying, I'm disappointed. They are saying, I'm leaving. There are now organizations and communities specifically helping former MAGA supporters walk away from the movement. One prominent example is Leaving MAGA, founded by Rich Rogers, who says he once walked inside the movement before leaving it. Think about that. Someone was once deeply involved in MAGA, is now helping other people leave MAGA. So continue watch another clips.
Does America feel great again?
No, not at all. You know, I can get laid off tomorrow, then I'm pretty much homeless. Because, you know, you can't save now. Every dollar you have has to go to gas, groceries, bills, rent.
Does America feel great again?
Not in the way everyone wanted. With gas prices, and you just can't afford to breathe at this point.
What does it feel like to be living in these conditions right now, in these economic conditions right now?
Hurt, very hurt. I try to do, sorry, I cried. I try to do a lot for my kids, and I can't do much.
It's hard, especially as a father, because you ain't got that extra cash to go and spoil your kids. So it's pretty difficult.
The middle class is definitely being affected, yeah. Low class might as well, crawl in a hole because they can't afford anything. Drill, baby, drill just didn't go, I don't think.
You still can't beat inflation, no matter what. Well, it seems we never catch up, no matter what. We're always behind 8 ball.
For some voters, the biggest issue is the economy. Prices, household expenses, and feeling that life is becoming harder, and making some people question whether the promises they voted for are actually being delivered. Recent reports have highlighted Trump voters expressing disappointment over economic conditions and broken promises. And here the uncomfortable question: if someone voted for change because they wanted their family to have a better life, what happens when they feel that change isn't helping them?
What are my thoughts on the 3-time MAGA voter girl as someone who grew up in the South? For reference, my family moved around a lot when I was a kid, but primarily I grew up in Alabama. So I grew up with a lot of people who would probably say the same thing that this 3-time MAGA girl is saying. It's the, oh, well, like, I'm a 3-time Trump voter because I didn't know any better. Like, I've never been in, like, an environment that would teach me anything differently than what my conservative think tank, like, thought bubble has been teaching me my entire life. And to a certain point, I do have empathy for that. But, like,
Not really. I was 16 in 2016, and I remember vividly the Driver by the Pussy release that got sent out. I saw it and everyone else saw it. And if you sit here and you tell me oh, I never saw that, I don't believe you. Unless you were Amish or didn't have a phone, I genuinely do not buy that for 1 second. So the first election, if you voted for him in 2016, you have this group of people who knowingly voted for somebody who admitted to sexually assaulting women by using his power and influence on tape. So they already don't care about that. Then in 2020, you have the insurrection, January 6th. He tried to overthrow the government. And then you voted for him again. There are multiple other things that happened between 2016 and now that are red flags for voting for him. But those are the couple that really come to mind. Because those were very public. Very, very, very public, and you still voted for him. So I don't think it's oh, I didn't have information. To a point, I think that's true. When you're a kid and you're in high school, if you don't go to college, it is very hard to break out of that conservative, alt-right Christian confirmation bias circle that your life creates for you. And I do have empathy for that. I do feel bad for people like that, and I do feel bad for them only if they are taking steps to educate them now. But if you grew up in that environment and you've just let it perpetuate and you've just voted and voted and voted and let this get worse and worse and worse for the entire country, I do not feel bad for you. You had just as much information about Trump that I did. I had the discernment to realize who he was at the age of 15, and you didn't.